Ever thought about trying a shorter hairstyle, but you didn't want to lose all the length? Well, today I'm going to show you how you can rock a long bob so you can have the best of both worlds. Hey guys, this is Timmy McCoy here with Pompadour Brands. I got my client Liz in, and today we're going to be doing a long bob. Now, we cut her hair about 4 or 5 months ago, and she actually said that was the best haircut she's ever gotten, which means a lot to me. So what we're going to do today is recreate that look. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start by sectioning out the hair. I'm gonna start from the top of the head and go down behind the ear. Separate that, and I'm gonna start in the back with this haircut. Same thing, matching with the top, behind the ear, pushing all this forward. Take my clips, just get it out of the way. With her hair texture, I'm not gonna take like individual sections and just cut it from like 8 or so. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do 2 full sections. Now, what we're doing is a dry cut. I prefer to do dry cuts for these kind of looks and haircuts as opposed to doing a wet cut, mainly because it's a little more visual. I can get a better idea of how the hair is gonna lay, how she would wear it every day. And pretty much, I don't have to go back after it being wet and redo the texture to get a better image. I can already start that. It's a lot quicker of a process. Now for this lob, it's slightly angled. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create my guideline. I like that angle a little bit better than this one. So I'm gonna take this, bring it up a little bit more. Perfect. See how I have our angle? Now it's gonna dip down about 1/2 inch. So the back, we're gonna take off 3.5 inches and the front 3 inches, and that's pretty close to what we did the first time. What I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna find the middle, separate it just a little bit, and I'm gonna start creating my guide. Now that there is about 3.5. So this haircut's just gonna be right above the shoulder line. What I'm gonna do is start by creating my guide, and I'm gonna be point cutting it. Now, if you're cutting it wet, you can definitely go straight across, but for this, it's mostly gonna be point cutting because I wanna create those textured ends. I wanna make this haircut look very lived in. I wanna have a bit of texture to it, a little bit of edge. I don't want it to be blunt or anything. So I'm gonna take that, here's my guide, and do the same thing. Just point cut it. And also the great thing about doing a dry haircut is I can constantly go back over it and do any detailing you need to do. Clip off any pieces that don't need to be there. And we're following the angle of the section we did. So we're just gonna keep following it until we get to the very edge. And you can kind of see here, since we're cutting it dry, I really see how it's gonna lay. If it was wet, it would be really static, the texture would be different, and I wouldn't really get a good idea of how she would wear it every day. So from here, I can kind of go in and start texturizing the ends a little bit more. Now we're gonna do some layers with this haircut, but I'm also gonna do internal layers, meaning with the ends and also in the midsection of the hair. Now how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna take a subsection, same angle, about that big, bring it up, and basically just point cut these pieces. I don't want to take too much hair off because I don't want to leave a hole or anything. So, and you can kind of see it's going to have a nice trickle down effect. They're really subtle, but you can get a good idea of how you curl it and just wear it. I'll go back over, take off any pieces that don't need to be there. And it creates like a really nice lightweight haircut. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna kind of continue to texturize this a little bit more. And bring your head down again. Take off any pieces that don't need to be there. Do the little trick with the comb where you flip it up and get off all that underweight. That's good too, because when she wears her hair straight, It's not gonna pop out, stick out. It's gonna look nice and even. And the same thing like we did on the other side. Taking this, doing some internal layers, taking it up, and just point cutting that. Kind of pointing this downward, making sure that's all even. Take out any flyaways. This side's still a little bit longer, so I'm just gonna do the same thing. And I'm always trying to keep this angle in mind. All right, so we're gonna take it out and do the exact same thing with the top sections. So we got the top section down. You can kind of see my guide behind the hair. I'm just gonna follow it pretty much. You can hold it down with the comb if you want to get the hair really straight. You can go at it and freehand it. I'm gonna use it with the comb. And just start following that guide. Right until I get to the middle. About right there. Same thing, I'm just gonna follow this right to the edge. Taking out these flyaways. And I wanna make sure that it's even when she wears it forward and then also back. So you can see, still a little bit longer right there. And it's thick too, so I'm gonna go in and point cut that as well. Just really trying to break up that weight. Still a few pieces right here. That's the great thing about dry cutting too, is you can really just go back over whatever things that you see differently and like, oh, I wanna fix that, I wanna keep it like that. If it's wet, you won't really see that until you blow dry, and then you kind of have to redo the process. So it's just much faster and a lot more efficient if you were to do it dry. I might actually take it a little bit shorter when we get to the front, because right now it's looking like it's an inch difference. I kind of want to take that to just half an inch. But it's definitely okay. We can always go back over the detailing, change it up a little bit. All right, same thing on this side. You can already see there's a good amount of texture just at the ends. Same thing like we did up top, still keeping the horizontal sections. I'm gonna take out some weight just at the top, and you see these pieces are falling down. Those are our internal layers, which is a good sign. That means that we have a good amount in there. We're gonna try and match that up. Now I'm not gonna cut it too deep because I want these to be very soft and subtle layers. Once we do the next stage of layers, those are gonna be a little sharper. They're gonna have more contrast to them. When you curl the hair, you're gonna be able to see the difference. But if you wear it straight, they're not gonna be that noticeable to where it's like, oh, it looks choppy. It's gonna have a nice, smooth, sleek finish when it's straight, and when it's curly or wavy, it'll have a good amount of texture. So we're trying to create a versatile look with this, and she should be able to wear it multiple ways. And now we're gonna start on the right side. We're basically gonna connect what we finished with the back to the front. And I said I wanted to take it a little bit shorter. Instead of it being an inch difference, it's gonna be half an inch. Really easy fix. All I'm gonna do is just make sure I don't angle it too much. I'm gonna take it with my comb and divert the angle just a little bit. Still trying to make it match with the guide. Tilt your head to the left. I'm gonna Check to see if there's any underweight. Just a little bit right there. Yeah, now you can see that angle is not as sharp, it's a little more soft. It's exactly what we want with this. So we're gonna take that and just carry it on all the way to the front. And you can kind of see what I mean by like how cutting the hair dry is very visual. I'm just seeing how it lays, and any places I need to fix, I can easily do so. And I'm just creating a lot of movement and texture with it. Still have that guide making it up to the front. It's about 3 inches right there, that's perfect. And you can see that angle, and it straightens out just a bit. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so we got the length established and a little bit of texture on the ends. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take some layers up around the top and around the midsection, break those up and create some nice contrast in the haircut. So how we're gonna do that is pretty similar to what we did originally with the internal layers. The only thing is we're just going to do vertical sections this time. And you could either bring them up if you want, or bring them down. But when you bring them up, you have a better idea of where your guide is, and you can kind of see my guide is right there. So I'm gonna take off all this length. I'm gonna bring it down and even it out. I'm gonna angle it just a little bit. You can kind of see it's gonna have a trickle down effect where the layers are going up about 1.5 inches. So I'm gonna repeat that through the back, find my guide, cut off all this length. What I'm gonna do with that afterwards is I'm gonna go back over and texturize it so it's not blunt or anything. Do some deep point cutting and try and break up those lines so the layers look seamless, effortless, and just have a nice kind of body to them. What I'm gonna do is deep point cut this. Bring that down and kind of create some nice texture through here. It might seem like I'm taking off a lot of length, but really it's just weight. She still has a lot of her length here. Okay, now we're gonna start on the other side. We'll do the right side. Same exact thing, starting off with vertical sections, bring them up, finding my guide, all right there. I'm just taking that all the way to the front of the head. And the closer I get to the head, the less I'm gonna take off, just because that part is the longest part of the haircut when it comes to her initial length. So I kind of want to match it up with that. I don't want to take too much off. And you can see as we get closer to the front, the guide gets shorter, so it's almost no guide at this point. So we're just gonna go in and kind of start our deep cutting. Same thing, just working our way back. All right, we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. All right, so we finished the haircut. We're gonna be using Pompadour Professional's Volumizing Mist. It's a very lightweight mist that adds body and volume. What you wanna do is you wanna spray it towards the roots. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna lift them. You can do that by scrunching it up. You can do this to wet hair, towel dried hair, or dry hair. We're gonna drag it through the ends. Just gonna add a little bit of body and volume to it. And we're gonna go ahead and use a flat iron to add the wave. Now a flat iron is gonna create these really nice, effortless waves, a very lived-in kind of look. We're not gonna curl it too tight. We're just gonna do it enough to where it has a bit of wave in it. So we're gonna start by actually doing horizontal sections. And a lot of people always say that you should always curl the hair away from the face, which is true, especially when you're dealing with the top. But for this look, we're actually gonna curl towards the face at the lower sections, well, at the lowest section, and then as we get closer to the top, we're gonna switch it up. So we're gonna do towards the face, away from the face, towards the face, away from the face, and then to finish it off, away from the face. So we're gonna start towards the face. We're gonna straighten it out first. And then we're just gonna do a really quick run through and drag it out. You can kind of see, creates this nice wave to it. And once you run your hands through it, it's really gonna break that up. And then we're gonna do it again towards the face, the bottom section. You can do everything away from the face, but I find that over the course of the day, the curls or waves will end up falling into just one single curl, all going in the back. So this is kind of to prevent that and still create a textured look. Okay, so then we're gonna take a section above that and do the opposite. We're gonna go away from the face. Straighten it out once. Now the way I'm curling it is I'm always holding the flat iron vertical. I'm taking it, quick run through, 360 degrees, holding this down and pushing through. You don't want to stall anywhere, otherwise you'll create some lines. It's supposed to be nice and easy. Take it, full spin, grab those ends and drag it through. And then I always like to push these ends and straighten them out a little bit. You can already see all those layers that we did is creating this nice texture. So we're gonna work our way to the top. You can kind of see here, actually, there's a bit of a line right there. So in order to get rid of that, you just take it and straighten it out and it'll get rid of it. That's if you hold it too long or have it kind of an awkward angle, it's gonna create that, but easy fix. All right, we're gonna work on the other side now. Same concept, keeping it towards the face, away from the face, towards the face, away from the face. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start in the back. We got the sides curled. Now for the back, since her hair is shoulder length, it's gonna be kind of hard to be able to get a nice full curl with the flat iron. You would need like a really small one to fit it through. I don't even know if they make one that small, but there's multiple ways you can kind of get around this. Sometimes you can take it and going in the same direction, so this section here would match up with the section in the front, so we would go towards the face. You can do a half curl, so quickly just move it and kind of create a bent in the hair, and it'll do that. You can straighten it out, and it'll kind of create this nice curl. For the most part, this is gonna be hidden by the layers and everything, so it doesn't really matter that much, but another way you could do it is, let's straighten this out to get a clean canvas. You can kind of wiggle the flat iron up and down. So you can take it up, down, and it kind of creates just like this nice loose wave right there. So you can do either one. I think for this look though, to match it up with these kind of curls, I'm just gonna do a half, just like that. See that line right there? Easily get rid of that. Perfect. And then once we get to the middle section, I'm gonna switch it and go that way. Now, since the hair is long enough, we're just gonna do our full curls like we did in the front and the sides, all the way to the top. So what I'm doing now is I'm just breaking up the waves, adding a lot of movement through the hair. Can lean our head back. I can stretch these out in the back. Can really see all those layers pop now that we did. Nice and textured, good contrast. Bring it up to the front. Bring some of these pieces down a little bit. Perfect. All right, so we finished the waves. We're gonna finish the entire look by using Pompadour Professional's dry shampoo. We're using it as a texture spray, but it's also good for, you know, when you're a few days after washing it and you wanna keep it clean, keep that grit. This is a great product to use. So pretty much what I'm doing is just taking it, running my hands through it as I spray, and just creating a lot of buildup and texture. I can lean our head back too to get some better angles. I wanna push it all forward. And I'm doing it in little spurts because I don't want to really saturate the hair. I just want to get a good amount of texture in there, lightly. And same thing on this side. You can kind of work your way. You can like get it to the roots if you want. And what we're going to do with this, we're going to take it and piece it how we want. Again, moving my hands through it, getting some sections out there. And then also taking it and scrunching up this to create a little bit of volume. That volumizing mist will come in handy when you do that. You can take some pieces to get some messy looks in here. It's just a very simple, lived-in look that you can wear anytime, any day. All right, so we finished the haircut in the style. We ended up doing an angled lob and added a lot of texture with the layers. For the products, before we add some wave, we did the Pompadour Professional Volumizing Mist. It added a lot of body to the roots, lifted them up, and created a nice amount of texture. After, we added Pompadour Professional's dry shampoo. We used it in place of a hairspray, mainly because we wanted to add more texture and use it basically as a texture spray. So I think this came out perfect.
So just finished the haircut. Tim did a great job. I thought I liked the haircut he did the first time better, but I think this is the best one yet. So these products smelled really good. I was actually really surprised by that. So I'm really excited about my new hair.
Hi, thanks for watching the video. If you're new to the channel, Pompadour Brands is a premium hair care company with products for men, women, and professionals. Check us out at pompadourpro.com and bring out the best in your hair. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you again next time.